The house was quiet, but Sarah's shift was just beginning. She moved through the dim bedroom to the nightstand. Her fingers closed around a bottle with no label, tucked behind the others. She tilted it toward the lamp.
This isn't on his chart, and the dose is way too high for comfort. It's a sedative.
She turned to the man in the bed, frail, but still aware of her sudden stillness.
Mr. Reeves, those aren't your pills. Someone is deliberately sedating you.
What? Number. Brenda gives me my meds every night.
There's an extra sedative here that's not prescribed to you. You are being drugged into compliance.
But why? She's my wife.
I don't know why yet, but I am going to find proof. Don't take anything she gives you tonight.
She slid the bottle into her scrub pocket. A plan was forming, and a danger neither could yet name. 3 days earlier, the sun was bright above the Reeves home when Sarah Lynn rang the doorbell. Inside, Brenda Reeves sat in the living room, smiling with the warmth of a hostess and the precision of a woman who kept lists.
I will oversee all medications personally. The night nurse assists with monitoring, but I control what goes into Daniel's body. Is that clear? Absolutely, Mrs. Reeves. I am here to support your routine. Most families want the nurse to manage meds. This felt backward.
She was then led to the bedroom, where the reason for the rules lay sleeping, or nearly.
You, the new nurse. I don't need fussing. I just need a face to watch me while I am out.
Daniel's mind must stay calm. We have a deed to sign soon, transferring the house into my name. Nothing can upset him.
Sarah started her first shift that evening, the house settling around her like something holding its breath. She didn't know it yet, but the rules she'd accepted were not about comfort. They were handcuffs, and the key was still in Brenda's pocket. The medication chart was open on the small desk. Sarah traced each listed name, her finger stopping at the last entry. One bottle was missing.
Missing? Or never listed at all. Time for his evening dose. Don't worry, I've added a little comfort pill. He gets anxious at night.
She didn't wait for a response. Brenda poured 2 tiny white tablets into her palm and pressed them gently past Daniel's lips. The man swallowed. A deep drowsiness came over him, like a curtain dropping too fast.
Mr. Reeves, can you hear me? How do you feel?
So tired. Can barely keep my eyes open.
He seems more sedated than usual. Is that normal with the new pill? Perfectly normal. He'll sleep soundly now. The doctor approved it.
Sarah made a note in the chart, but her hand hesitated. Then she added a small, private question mark next to the timestamp. Late that night, Brenda retreated to the kitchen. In the quiet, Daniel's eyes fluttered open, clearer than they'd been in hours.
Mr. Reeves, I need to ask you about the pill your wife gave you earlier. What did she tell you?
She said it's for pain. My comfort pill. I don't even feel pain anymore.
And the deed signing. She mentioned it earlier. When is that happening?
Tomorrow morning, the notary comes at 9. Brenda says it's just paperwork.
Tomorrow. That's no coincidence. He's being kept sedated to sign over his home.
Before she could say more, footsteps echoed in the hallway. Brenda appeared with a fresh pill cup and a glass of water.
Time for your night meds, Daniel. Open up. You'll rest well now.
The pills slipped past his lips. His brief clarity dissolved into that unnatural, heavy stillness once more.
This isn't comfort. This is erasing him. I need proof before that notary arrives tomorrow.
After midnight, the house fell into a false peace. Brenda had retired, and Sarah crept back to the nightstand. She tilted the unlabeled bottle again, then searched the drawer. At the bottom, a pharmacy receipt with a name she didn't expect.
Brenda Reeves. This sedative is prescribed to Brenda, not Daniel.
Her hands trembled as she pulled out her phone. The camera app opened silently. One click, then another. The label, the bottle, the receipt, each frozen in digital light.
You gave him your own sedative. You are not just controlling him. You are erasing him.
She returned everything to its place, but slipped the receipt into her pocket.
I have the pharmacy record. I have photos, but I am still alone in this house. If I tell Daniel now, he might not be lucid enough. If I confront Brenda, she'll destroy the evidence.
She looked at Daniel's sleeping form, then toward the hallway. The house offered no answers, only a ticking clock. Morning light crept into the hallway as Sarah finished her charting. A voice carried from the bedroom, Brenda, already at his side. She pressed close to the doorframe, listening.
Daniel, you remember the paperwork we talked about? The house needs to be in my name for the bills. You trust me, don't you?
Yes, Brenda. Whatever you say.
Good. The notary got delayed, but he'll be here the day after tomorrow. You just rest now.
The day after tomorrow. Still a window, but now a deadline carved in stone.
She backed away silently, her heart hammering.
If I don't get someone here before then, he'll sign everything away. I need a plan.
Inside the room, Brenda smoothed the blanket and smiled, a smile that didn't reach her eyes.
2 days. That's all I have to turn a secret into a rescue.
After the overheard deadline, she needed guidance. In the quiet kitchen, she dialed a number she hadn't called in months.
Grace? It's Sarah Lynn. I am in trouble. I can't give names, but I need advice.
For 15 minutes, her voice stayed low, describing mismatched pills, a pressured deed, and a 2-day countdown.
A sedative prescribed to the wife, given to the patient. He's barely conscious. What would you do?
The answer was steady. Document everything, take photos, then call the hospice medical director, not the police. Not yet.
But if I wait, she might increase the dose. I am afraid he won't last until help arrives.
The mentor replied with an anchor. Protect yourself, and protect him by doing it right.
She's right. If I go to the police without protocol, her doctor will cover it up. I need the medical director.
That night, she opened her laptop in the dark kitchen and began a timeline, attaching photos one by one.
When everything is ready, I'll call. For now, I watch, wait, and pray he stays with me.
The afternoon brought Dr. Morrison, clipboard in hand, his eyes scanning the room before they landed on his patient. He listened to Daniel's chest for all of 10 seconds, then checked a box. No questions, no concern.
Vitals are stable. You are doing a wonderful job, Brenda. Daniel's lucky.
Thank you, doctor. I just follow your instructions.
Sarah stood in the doorway, watching. When the doctor moved into the hallway, Brenda was right behind him. She saw Brenda's hand slide into her pocket, then extend. A thick envelope, folded once, passed between them. Before she could second guess, Sarah raised her phone and clicked. The exchange froze on screen.
The doctor is her accomplice. This isn't a mistake. It's a conspiracy.
The doctor slipped the envelope into his coat without a word, then walked out. Brenda's smile never flickered.
I have them both now. Tomorrow, I make the call. Tonight, I pray Daniel holds on.
That night, the house was heavy with silence. Sarah slipped down the hallway, a ghost in scrubs, and eased the bedroom door open. Daniel lay still, breathing slow. She crouched beside the nightstand and pulled the unlabeled bottle from its hiding place. With her phone, she photographed the mismatched labels. Daniel's name on one, Brenda's on the sedative, one click after another. On the screen, the evidence was stark. 2 labels, 1 patient, a deliberate mismatch. She straightened, then froze. In the wastebasket, something plastic caught the dim light, a torn syringe wrapper.
She didn't just use pills. She injected him. That's why he fades so fast.
Quickly, she snapped a photo of the wrapper, then scooped it into a clean evidence bag from her kit. Her camera roll now held a catalog of betrayal. Pills, prescriptions, a bribe, and a needle.
It's enough. Tomorrow morning, I call Director Harris. Today, I keep him breathing.
The room was dark, but Sarah finally had a weapon of her own. Now she just had to use it before Brenda erased the man sleeping beside her. Sitting in the dim kitchen, Sarah scrolled through the photos on her phone. The doctor's hand accepting the envelope, the mismatched labels.
Brenda paid him. The doctor is her accomplice. He signs off on the meds, and she keeps Daniel too weak to refuse.
She zoomed in on the pill bottle labels, Daniel's charted medication, and a sedative with Brenda's name.
She's giving him her own sedative. Every dose makes him more compliant, and tomorrow morning, he'll sign away the house.
The syringe wrapper photo was the final piece. Injectable sedation, fast and untraceable without testing.
This isn't just manipulation. This is silence by chemical force. She's erasing him so no one stops her. I can't wait for the director. Daniel has to know now. He's the only one who can stop the deed while I call for help.
She looked toward the bedroom, where Daniel lay in his drugged sleep. Brenda would wake soon. Time was bleeding away.
Morning. When Brenda leaves for groceries, I'll show him the photos. He has to believe. He has to fight.
She locked the phone, the evidence burning a hole in her pocket. The only path forward led straight to a man fighting to stay conscious. Morning light spilled into the quiet house. Brenda announced an errand, and the front door clicked shut.
This is my moment. Daniel, please be lucid enough to hear this.
She hurried to the bedroom. Daniel's eyes fluttered open at her gentle touch.
Mr. Reeves, I need you to look at something. This is proof.
She held up her phone, the photo of the pill bottle with Brenda's name visible on the screen.
That's Brenda's name on a sedative. Why would she give me that?
To keep you too weak to question the deed. She's about to take your home.
Daniel stared at the screen, then his eyes met Sarah's. The fog lifted, replaced by something sharp.
I've been a fool, but I am not dead yet. What's the plan?
Tomorrow I'll call the hospice director for an audit. You must act groggy until then.
Daniel's voice had the rust of disuse, but there was iron underneath now. A man with a reason doesn't sleep.
This director, you called. What exactly can she do? Stop the notary?
If she confirms medication fraud, she can invalidate the deed. Brenda won't push through an audit.
Fraud is slippery. Brenda will say I consented to everything. We need the paperwork.
He nodded toward the leather folder on the nightstand, where the quitclaim deed rested like a loaded weapon.
Tomorrow, during her errand, I'll photograph the deed, the date, the names, the language.
Good. I'll stay groggy, just weak enough, until you give me the signal.
If she catches me, she'll double the sedative. There won't be a second chance.
They agreed on a subtle code. 2 fingers briefly raised meant Brenda was getting too close.
Go, then. One more day. Then we pull the plug on her little performance.
The following afternoon, Brenda's car pulled away. Through the kitchen window, Sarah watched until the road was empty, then pressed call.
Director Harris? This is Sarah Lynn, the night nurse at the Reeves residence. I need to report a medication fraud.
Go ahead. What exactly are you seeing?
The wife is giving him her own sedative, not prescribed. I have photos, mismatched labels, a bribe to the doctor, a syringe wrapper. I am sending them to you now. The deed signing is tomorrow at 9. This isn't just a mistake, it's planned.
The images transferred. The unlabeled bottle, the receipt, the hallway exchange. Proof of a conspiracy, not care.
This is medication fraud and patient endangerment. I'll be there tomorrow morning before 8 with an auditing nurse.
Please. The notary arrives at 9. If Brenda suspects anything, she'll increase the dose. There won't be another chance.
I understand. Stay calm. Don't confront her. We'll handle the medication audit and stop the transfer.
The call ended. Sarah stood in the quiet hallway, hope and terror tangling in her chest, like a prayer she wasn't sure would be answered. Only minutes later, the front door swung open. Brenda returned early, keys jangling, her eyes scanning the room.
You look ruffled. Something wrong?
No, I was just catching up on the charts.
Brenda studied her for a long moment, then smiled, a smile that didn't warm her eyes.
Good. I noticed he's been more restless. Let's give him his night dose a little early tonight.
His vitals are stable. I'd rather stick to the schedule to avoid interactions.
The doctor approved flexibility. He'll sleep better.
I'll document his restlessness and monitor him. If he needs it, we can give it at the usual time.
Brenda's jaw tightened. She didn't argue further, but her silence was louder than any words. Sarah retreated to the kitchen, her pulse racing. She had bought time, but the hours until morning felt like a lifetime. By 2 in the morning, the house held its breath. Sarah stayed at her post, fighting exhaustion, her ears tuned to every creak. A soft clatter drew her to the kitchen. Through the crack in the door, she saw Brenda counting, sorting.
She's repackaging the pills, getting rid of the evidence before morning.
Sarah angled her phone from the doorway and pressed capture. The image sealed another crime.
Just a little insurance. He'll sleep through the morning and never know.
She's preparing another dose. If I don't stop it, he won't be lucid for the signing.
Back in the bedroom, she caught Daniel's eye. He gave an almost imperceptible nod, then closed his eyes, feigning deep sleep.
We're ready. But if Brenda finds the photo on my phone, it's over.
The clock on the wall ticked, each second a tiny hammer against their resolve. Morning remained an eternity away. In the kitchen, Brenda finished her work, leaving no trace of what she'd done. The sedative was ready. Morning light turned cold through the windows. Brenda, dressed sharply, paced near the living room door, a rehearsed cheerfulness in her step. The doorbell chimed at exactly 9. A thin notary entered, briefcase in hand, and followed her to the bedroom without a word.
Here we are, Daniel. Just sign where the little sticker is. Then you can rest.
Before you sign, I need to check his vitals. It's protocol. Only a moment.
He's been stable all morning. The notary can't wait. Let's not be difficult, Sarah.
Sarah ignored the edge in Brenda's voice. She wrapped the blood pressure cuff slowly, deliberately, her eyes never leaving the clock on the far wall.
Hold on. Just stall. She will come.
The notary placed the pen beside Daniel's hand. Mr. Reeves, if you could sign here, sir. Sarah's gaze shot to the clock. 8:45. The front door was still silent, the street empty, and the pen sat inches from Daniel's fingers. Daniel's hand trembled, hovering over the paper. The whole room seemed to hold its breath, suspended between a signature and salvation. Before the pen touched paper, the front doorbell rang, sharp and certain, a sound that changed everything.
Ignore it. Focus on the signature.
Sarah was already at the door. Director Harris strode in, an auditing nurse at her side, and scanned the room with cool authority.
We're conducting a medication audit. All bottles will be checked against the patient's chart.
Harris moved to the nightstand, her gloved hands sifting through the bottles. She held one up, its label blank.
This one isn't in his file, and the label underneath reads Brenda Reeves, a sedative.
That's a mistake. It must be from my bag. I never gave him any of those.
But Harris had already opened the bottle. The pill count matched exactly the doses logged in the chart.
This is medication fraud, Mrs. Reeves. The signing must stop.
The notary froze, then slowly withdrew the papers into his briefcase. Brenda stood there, her perfect plan crumbling like dry leaves. Through the haze of sedatives, Daniel's voice cut the silence. He willed himself upright, his eyes locking on Brenda.
I know what you did. You poisoned me to steal my home.
Daniel, please. I did it for us. I was scared we'd lose everything.
You nearly killed me. Get out of this house and never come back.
Brenda's face twisted from pleading to spite. The mask was off.
You'll regret this. Without me, you'll die alone and forgotten.
Daniel didn't flinch. He pointed toward the door with a steadiness that surprised even himself. Director Harris was already on the phone. The second casualty was being finalized across the line.
Dr. Morrison, your contract is terminated, effective immediately. The board will review your license.
The room fell quiet. 2 betrayers, broken in a single morning. Daniel exhaled, the iron in his spine holding. As the front door closed behind Brenda, the room exhaled. The storm had passed, leaving a fragile, trembling quiet.
Sarah, you saved my life. I won't forget it.
I was just doing my job, but I am so glad you are here. So glad.
Mr. Reeves, we'll replace all medications immediately. A new physician will review your chart by end of day.
Without ceremony, the director lifted the quitclaim deed from the nightstand. She tore it once, cleanly, then let the pieces fall.
That paper almost buried me. Now it's just trash.
A new medication chart was placed on the desk. Proper doses, no hidden bottles. The room smelled of clean air again.
Stay. I need a nurse I can trust. Would you be my full-time caregiver?
I'd be honored, Mr. Reeves. I am not going anywhere.
The house, once a prison, was beginning to feel like a home again. An unlikely bond had been forged in the fire. Weeks later, the garden beds were full of August color. Daniel, steadier than anyone had seen him in months, walked the path with Sarah at his side.
I've been thinking, Sarah. You could do more than night nursing. You could be an RN.
I've dreamed of it. But nursing school costs more than I can manage right now.
Let me pay for it. I have the means, and there is no better use for it than investing in the person who saved my life.
Mr. Reeves, I can't accept that. You've already given me a job and a purpose.
He didn't argue. He simply pulled a check from his pocket, wrote a number that stilled her breath, and pressed it into her hand.
You gave me back my home and my voice. This is the least I can do. No arguments.
Sarah looked down at the figure, then up at the man who had fought his way out of a chemical fog just weeks before. Her eyes welled.
I'll pay it forward. I'll be the best nurse I can be. I promise you that.
In the garden, under a gentle sun, a future that had once seemed stolen was quietly handed back, and it was enough. 4 years slipped by, each season warmer than the last. The house on the quiet street had long since stopped holding its breath. On a bright morning, Daniel stood in a university hall, pride softening the lines on his face. Sarah walked across the stage in her nursing pin.
Look at you, the finest nurse I've ever known.
Because of you, you gave me this future.
They embraced in the aisle. Onlookers saw an old man and a new nurse. Only they saw the life they had pulled back from the edge. Back home, Daniel tended his garden, a ritual he had reclaimed. Tomatoes ripened under his care. He lived not as a victim, but fully 4 more years of morning coffee, garden walks, and the quiet knowledge that he had won. On screen, Daniel lived 4 more years in peace. Sarah stood beside the garden gate, watching him. The world was steady again, and the debt between them was paid in full, by gratitude, not obligation. In the years that followed, Sarah Lynn, RN, moved through the hospital halls with a steadiness that came from surviving the unthinkable. She paused at the nurse's station and opened her wallet. Tucked behind her ID was a worn photograph.
Thank you, Daniel.
The man in the picture had been gone for a season, but his belief in her still lived in every patient she comforted. The nightstand, the mismatched pills, the quiet battle, they were threads in a story she would carry forever. She slid the photo back into its place and straightened her badge. The same resolve that had once kept her awake now walked with her into every room. Sometimes the people we save end up saving us right back. Daniel Reeves lived 4 more years, not as a victim, but as a man who reclaimed his home and his voice. And the nurse who saw a secret in a pill bottle became the proof that one person's courage can rewrite a life. Fade to black.